I began my walk through Vienna at Café Central, one of the city's most famous and most beautiful cafes. It is a place where Vienna reveals itself unhurriedly through details, stories, and atmosphere. Café Central opened in 1876 in the building of a former bank. For more than a century, it has remained an important part of the city's cultural life. Writers, philosophers, poets, and politicians once gathered here. Among its famous guests were Sigmund Freud, Stefan Zweig, and Theodor Herzl. It is said that ideas discussed at these very tables went on to influence the course of European history. The cafe's interior impresses at first sight. High vaulted ceilings, elegant columns, marble floors. The light is soft and warm, as if designed especially for slow conversations and long pauses. Even when the hall is full of people, Café Central never feels noisy. Instead, it is filled with a special, almost intimate calm. The cafe is known not only for its history, but also for Vienna's coffee tradition. The menu offers classic melange, espresso, Einspanner, as well as famous desserts, apple strudel, Zuckertorte, and delicate pastries that look like small works of art. But Café Central is not just about coffee. It is about a feeling, about the chance to pause for a moment, sit by the window, watch the city go by, and imagine how many stories have already been told within these walls. This is exactly the kind of place where one wants to begin a walk through Vienna, slowly, attentively, with respect for time and for the city itself. Leaving Café Central, I slowly make my way through the streets of Old Vienna toward the Hofburg Palace. These streets seem made for unhurried walks. There is no desire to rush here, only to look around and notice the details. From time to time, horse-drawn carriages, fiacres, pass by. Their hooves gently echo on the cobblestones, carrying the city back into past centuries. This is how Vienna has presented itself to visitors for many years. Elegant, slightly theatrical, yet deeply sincere. The carriages take guests past historic buildings, and it feels less like a tour and more like a small journey through time. Along the way, shop windows line the street. Here, history and modernity coexist side by side. Luxury fashion boutiques, jewelry shops, and stores reflecting classic Viennese style stand next to one another. The displays are restrained and tasteful, without unnecessary brightness. Everything feels very Viennese. Between the shops are hotels, many housed in historic buildings. Behind their facades lie inner courtyards, terraces, quiet breakfasts, and evenings overlooking the city. It is easy to imagine guests from all over the world beginning their day with just such a walk. I like the balance Vienna maintains. The city lives a modern life without forgetting its history. Every street here seems to tell its own story, through the stones of the pavement, the facades of the buildings, and even the sound of hooves on the road. And so, step by step, this walk leads me ever closer to the Hofburg, the heart of Imperial Vienna. As I draw closer, the space around me gradually begins to change. The streets grow wider, the movement slows, and ahead, the Hofburg Palace comes into view. It does not try to impress at first glance, yet it radiates a sense of strength, calm, and time accumulated here over centuries. The Hofburg is an entire palace complex shaped over more than 6 centuries, and it served as the main residence of the Habsburg dynasty. This was where emperors and empresses lived, where state decisions were made, and where the daily life of one of Europe's most powerful families unfolded. One of the palace's most famous residents was Empress Elizabeth, Sisi. She disliked the strict rules of court life and often felt lonely within these grand halls. It is said that living amid constant ceremonies and expectations was difficult for her, and perhaps this is why the Hofburg sometimes feels not cold, but contemplative and restrained. Emperor Franz Joseph I also lived and worked here, for whom the Hofburg was not just a home, but the center of his life and service to the empire. His days followed a strict routine, spent among the offices, corridors, and inner courtyards of this palace. At different times, other members of the imperial family resided here as well, from Maria Theresa to the last representatives of the monarchy. Each generation altered and expanded the complex, leaving its mark in stone and architecture. Standing before the Hofburg today, it's hard to imagine that these courtyards were once filled with horse-drawn carriages, guards, and the bustle of court life. Yet it feels as though the walls still remember the footsteps of those who once lived here. And this walk leads precisely here, to a place where the history of Vienna feels especially close. From the Hofburg, I continued my walk and soon found myself in front of the Austrian Parliament. It impresses from afar, massive, austere, yet remarkably refined. The building seems to speak for itself. This is where decisions shaping the life of the entire country are made, and at the same time, it stands as a symbol of stability and order. The Parliament is built in the neoclassical style, inspired by the architecture of ancient Greece. Huge columns, strict facades, symmetry in every detail, all of this creates a sense of strength, harmony, and order. Looking up at the pediment, one notices numerous sculptures symbolizing law, justice, and wisdom. Every detail speaks to the importance of the building's mission. In front of the Parliament stretches a large square with fountains and greenery. It is always calm here, even though the city around it moves to its own rhythm. You can faintly hear the steps of people, the clear echoes of heels on the cobblestones, and occasionally the hum of passing cars. Yet the Parliament seems to stand in its own time, majestic and unhurried. Particularly striking are the Pallas Athena fountain and the columns adorned with Ephesian sculptures that decorate the square. They add lightness and elegance to the otherwise monumental appearance of the building. When the sun shines on the marble, the Parliament facade seems to come alive, and the shadows of the columns play across the square, almost as if marking the rhythm of the city. The Austrian Parliament is not only a workplace for politicians, but also a symbol of Austria's democratic traditions, open to both residents and visitors. Here you feel the intersection of history, architecture, and modern life in Vienna. Standing in front of the building, one realizes that Vienna knows how to harmoniously combine past and present, monumentality and calm, beauty and function. And it is precisely this feeling that accompanies you during a slow walk through the streets of the Austrian capital. From the Austrian Parliament, I continued on and soon found myself in front of the Austrian National Library in Vienna. The building impresses with its grandeur, yet it also radiates warmth. Here, among ancient books and marble halls, you feel that time and knowledge are intertwined. The library was founded in the 18th century as the Imperial Library of the Habsburgs, and it still preserves an enormous collection of manuscripts and old volumes. Walking through its corridors, it feels as if you have entered a temple of knowledge where every book has its own story. The most striking space is the main hall, with its high ceiling, enormous sculptures, and rows of wooden shelves that stretch upward. The light streaming through the large windows makes the hall both solemn and cozy at the same time. Here, you want to stand quietly, listen to the rustle of pages, and simply admire the grandeur of the books. The Austrian National Library is more than just a repository of books. It is a place where the history of Vienna and the knowledge of humanity live together, and where a walk becomes a true immersion into the past. From the Austrian National Library, I continued on to the Natural History Museum. Its majestic building immediately draws attention. Monumental facades, enormous columns, and perfect symmetry create a sense of calm and grandeur. The square in front of the museum is especially striking. The space is wide and open, with fountains and sculptures that seem to guide you toward the entrance. Here, you can feel the scale of the building and the quiet majesty of history frozen in stone. The museum opened in 1889 and has since preserved vast collections of minerals, fossils, dinosaurs, and other treasures of nature. The central hall impresses with its height and spaciousness, while the light streaming through the vaulted windows highlights the grandeur of the exhibits. The Natural History Museum is a place where science and beauty meet, and where you can truly feel the majesty of nature in all its forms. After my walk through Vienna, I made my way to Schönbrunn Palace, one of Austria's most magnificent sights. Even from a distance, the festive atmosphere is palpable. Right at the entrance, a Christmas market welcomes visitors, bringing the palace courtyard to life. The place is crowded with people, tourists from all over the world, here to witness the palace's grandeur, soak in Vienna's atmosphere, and immerse themselves in the magic of the season. The market spreads around the palace, and its small wooden stalls captivate with their variety. In one, you can find traditional Austrian dishes, sausages, schnitzels, strudels, and hot punch. In another stall, there are sweet treats, gingerbread, cookies, cotton candy, while nearby, stalls offer souvenirs and handcrafted items. There are even goods from neighboring countries, adding an international charm to the market. French pastries, German gingerbread, Italian sweets. Every step reveals something new, and your eyes can't help but wander, drawn by the colors, lights, and aromas. I couldn't pass by a small hot dog stand without stopping for a taste. The hot dogs were incredible. A fragrant, juicy sausage, fresh bun, and warm condiments. Every bite added to the festive feeling, a reminder that Vienna delights not only the eyes, but also the taste buds. Sitting on a bench, I watched people pass by and felt how this place brings locals and visitors together, sharing joy simply by being here. Among the stalls, you hear music, the gentle tinkle of Christmas ornaments, laughter from children and adults. The air is filled with the scent of mulled wine, spiced pastries, and hot chocolate. The atmosphere is so alive that it feels as if time slows down, allowing you to savor every moment. Schönbrunn Palace stands majestically in the background, even a little magical in the winter sunlight. Its facades glimmer with festive lights, and the contrast with the colorful market stalls creates a unique harmony of past and present. Here, between the history of emperors and the modern holiday bustle, you feel how Vienna knows how to combine grandeur with warmth. The market lets you experience Austrian culture and cuisine in all their diversity. You can taste traditional strudels, fragrant gingerbread, enjoy hot punch or cocoa, try sausages and cheese snacks while catching hints of international flavors nearby. Each stall is a little story, each aroma a piece of the celebration. I wandered slowly, allowing myself to notice the details, the multicolored lights on the trees, festive garlands, smiling faces, and fragrant stalls. Every step is a small adventure, a taste of the holiday spirit that lingers in your heart long after. The market at Schönbrunn is not just a place for shopping or photos.
It is a space where the palace's history meets modern traditions, where Vienna shows its festive side, and where everyone can feel part of this magnificent city.
After strolling through the market, I finally approached Schönbrunn Palace itself. This palace is a true jewel of Vienna, a symbol of imperial grandeur and Austria's history. Its facades gleam in the winter sun, and the architecture impresses with both harmony and scale. Over 1,400 rooms, magnificent halls, ornate facades, and sculptures that tell the story of the Habsburg dynasty. Schönbrunn was the winter residence of the emperors, home to many generations. Each left their mark within these walls. You can imagine Empress Maria Theresa or Emperor Franz Joseph I walking through these halls, making important decisions and hosting grand celebrations. The palace has preserved the atmosphere of that time, a sense of majesty combined with warmth, felt when stepping across the marble floors and climbing its staircases. The interior halls are particularly striking. The Hall of Mirrors sparkles with the light of crystal chandeliers, while luxurious furniture and paintings create the impression that history comes alive here and now. Every detail, from the ornate ceilings to the delicate decorative elements, tells a story about the tastes, traditions, and lifestyle of the Austrian emperors. The palace is surrounded by a vast garden, which becomes a true paradise in spring and summer and adds a quiet charm in winter. Fountains, pathways, sculptures, and green avenues create a sense of peace and harmony. Walking among the trees and bushes, you can feel how the palace and garden work together, forming a complete picture of imperial grandeur.
Schönbrunn is a place where history and art meet the lives of people. Here you can sense the atmosphere of imperial balls, see how the Habsburgs lived and created, and at the same time feel that the palace is open to anyone who wants to touch history. Step by step, walking through its halls and corridors, you realize that this place is alive even today. It remembers everything: grand celebrations, the daily life of the emperors, joyful and sorrowful events, and now it offers inspiration and calm to everyone who visits. Schönbrunn is more than just a palace. It is a part of Vienna that allows you to feel the grandeur of history, the beauty of architecture, and the warmth that leaves a mark on the heart for years to come.
After exploring the palace's central halls, I made my way to Schönbrunn's rear courtyard. Here, a completely different perspective of the palace opens up. The majestic building stands in all its beauty, while the surrounding space evokes a sense of calm and harmony. The rear courtyard impresses with its symmetry, wide avenues, and grand staircases leading to the gardens. Every detail is carefully considered. Fountains, decorative vases, and neatly trimmed shrubs together create a feeling of order and grandeur at the same time. Walking through the courtyard, you can spot miniature sculptures and marble pedestals that line the paths, and feel how the palace gradually blends into the natural space of the gardens. The air is fresh here, and even in winter carries the scent of conifer trees and the gentle rustle of leaves. Of particular interest is that the rear courtyard leads to the famous Schönbrunn Zoo, one of the oldest in the world. Founded in 1752, it has preserved the historical atmosphere of the imperial estate. Here, you can see animals from across the globe, from majestic elephants and proud lions to graceful pandas and exotic birds. Strolling among the enclosures, you feel part of a living world where humans and animals coexist in harmony. The zoo is arranged so that even in the harshest winter days, life and energy are palpable. Trees, ponds, paths, and small sculptures create the atmosphere of a fairy tale park. Every step reveals a new view. You can pause to watch the animals or simply enjoy the grandeur of nature and architecture simultaneously. The rear courtyard and the zoo are places where the history of the palace meets contemporary life. Here, imperial grandeur and human curiosity merge into a single experience, creating a unique space for walking, reflection, and inspiration. Step by step, as you wander through the courtyard and the zoo, you realize that Schönbrunn is alive even today, not only as an architectural monument, but as a place of joy, discovery, and tranquility for everyone who visits. This was Nadine with you. Thank you to everyone who stayed until the end and walked with me through this beautiful Vienna. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next walks. I'm really curious to know what you'd like to see next. Which streets, cafes, or palaces? Maybe hidden little corners of Vienna? Or other cities you'd like to explore with me? Thank you for being with me, and see you on the next walks. May your day be calm, warm, and filled with little joys, just like this stroll.